Good morning. Good morning. I'm Jean Finstein, and this is the Friends of Wheeling tour for March 8th, 2025. And we are at 46 Eureka Avenue, which is in the Pleasanton neighborhood of Wheeling. And this property has been turned into an Airbnb or Verbo property named Sweet Retreat. Do I have that right?
Sweet Retreat Wheeling, yeah.
And the owners are here with me, Carol Yanego and Jeff Fleeman. And Carol has a picture of what the house looked like before on the outside, and she has some good pictures of before and after on the inside, and they've done a beautiful job. So let me do a little bit of history while we're here. Deed records show that the lot on which this house stands was purchased by Oscar Teagarden and his wife Alma from the Pleasant Valley Land Company in the fall of 1913, but that was just the land. They sold the property to Louis and Julia Beck in late 1922 for $450. So the price would indicate that it was just the land and not a house. And the Becks sold it in the spring of 1925 to Edward and Ella Dailey. City Directories suggest that the Daileys were the first owners of the house itself, so that would date it from 1925-ish. Edward Dailey was the son of Irish immigrants. He was listed as a fireman in the 1928 City Directory. At that time, the street address was known as 4 Eureka. The street numbers changed. And Ella's occupation was shown as inspector at Wheeling Stamping Company. Dailey's death certificate lists him as retired engineer with the Reymann Packing Company. In the fall of 1945, widow Ella Dailey sold the property, was later changed to Bischof. He was advertising manager for the Times-Leaguer newspaper. His children, Michael and Sue, became the owners following the death of their father, and their brother, Charlie Bischof, lived in the home for many years. So neighbors know this as Charlie Bishop's home. Charlie Bischof was a reporter for the Associated Press and the Wheeling News Register, and he founded a book business called the Bishop of Books. For 40 years, he specialized in writing and lecturing on the literature of alcoholism, and was an active member of Alcoholics Anonymous. He also served on the board of directors of the Institute of Research, Education, and Training on Addiction. Following his death in 2019, Edward Hoskins purchased the property, and next door neighbors, Jeff and Carol, purchased the property in March of 2023. So let's go inside and have a look at the inside. I should have said behind the camera is Ed Sullivan. Thank you very much, Ed, for your expertise.
Okay. Okay, you want to start in the kitchen?
Sure.
Okay.
Carol will be our tour guide here.
So we did a lot of renovations here in the kitchen. This is one of the pictures of when we started. And I'll leave this lay. As you can see, there was a door here. There was a very, very large window here, and there was no wall space for cabinets. So we moved the door around the corner and put in a smaller window so that we could put the cabinets in and the light fixtures and such. Now, in here was where the kitchen sink was. If you go back in this little area here, which we have now turned into a half bath and a washing area. It was just the kitchen sink with some pantry, some cabinets in there.
It's odd that the kitchen sink would be separate.
Yeah, right?
So far
from the main business of the kitchen.
We did a lot of them. We had this wall put in.
Right. To make the powder room laundry area.
Yes. And there's another picture of what that
was there like. Because of the sink, at least, yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Then in here into our dining room. We didn't do much in here other than paint, clean up, and you can see we collected some historical postcards of Wheeling. We have those displayed as well in here. And I have to say that a majority of the furniture and such that we have provided in here we've gotten from Sibs. They've been great to help us find pieces and such. Now, here in the living room, here's a picture of the fireplace in the one corner. It's what it looked like when we started. We cleaned up this fireplace. This is an Art Nouveau. These were ceramic tiles, were made in the late 19th, early to mid 20th century. So we cleaned this up. We wanted to keep this intact because we wanted to keep as much in the home that was original. Now, Charlie was he had priorities that weren't in the house. He was a Christian man. He believed in helping those that were in addiction and alcoholism. So that's where all his time and energy went. And the house wasn't important to him. And that's why it kind of fell in a little bit of disarray.
Let me interrupt just for a minute.
Sure.
There's an interesting story. And Jeff, would you tell us about the lamp that's here?
Charlie had thrown the lamp out, and it was sitting in the street. And I asked him if I could have it, and he said sure, because it isn't working. So I rewired it and fixed it up and cleaned it up. I said, hey, I fixed the lamp. Do you want it back? And he said sure. so he brought the lamp back, and we ultimately ended up with it.
So we have some pictures and posters of Wheeling that we're trying to kind of get the tourism vibe going on in here for anybody that would visit in West Virginia. Okay, so this is a picture of what the stairway looked like into the kitchen. And you can see the door that we had moved. This was, I have to tell you, yellow was Charlie's favorite color. So we felt that we needed to keep some yellow in the house as a tribute to him. So we painted the front door yellow. This was the door that he had here. And of course the kitchen is yellow. So, all right, so we can go on upstairs.
Carol has been the decorator here, and I think she's done a beautiful job.
Well, thank you. Thank you. This is a small bedroom, and we didn't have to do much in here because the previous renters had put in the flooring, and we just had to paint. We had 35 sheets of drywall put up to replace some of the ceilings and such. And
nice,
the
very
furniture. Nice. So there's not a closet in here, so we put up this hanger here for people to be able to hang a few things on. And this is the largest bedroom, and this is what it looked like prior to. And you can still see some of the yellow paint on the ceiling. This house was painted yellow. He loved yellow. So we had the ceilings redone. We have 2 walk-in closets. You can use for storage, hang items. Yeah. And there's another one on this side. This is where I have a lot of our linens stored.
Is this the original size of this room? Because it's
Yes.
a nice sized room.
It is.
With a walk-in closet.
It is.
Oh, 2 walk-in closets.
Yes, one on each side.
His and hers, that's great.
And is this a king size bed?
It's a queen.
A queen, okay. And the first bedroom was a double,
Yes.
okay.
Yes. I don't know. Oh, sorry. Okay, and this is what the bathroom looked like originally. So the tile was already in here, and we put up, redid the ceiling and finished painting and getting this together.
Quite a change.
Yes, yes.
Beautifully done.
Thank you.
That's a very comfortable size house. Someone was telling me that families tend to be tenants of yours, you know, if they've got something going on up at the Highlands and stuff like. This would be a perfect spot for a small family with a couple kids, because
Right.
they each have their own bedroom and then a master.
Exactly, and that's who we've had one set of renters in here, and we've got some more scheduled on the weekends.
Right.
And it's basically what it is family with children that
And the
are
word gets around
Yeah.
too.
right.
Word of mouth is the best advertising there is.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, cool.
So here's a picture of that corner of the room when we started, and this.
So the mechanicals of the house, I mean, it looks like obviously all the cosmetic things needed to be done.
Right.
That is the painting and
Yes.
this and that, but how about the electrical and the plumbing
Yeah, we
and
had
stuff like that?
we had the electrical all redone. It has a new roof. We wanted to paint the siding, but it was in
It was in
repair. Yes, yeah. So we went ahead and had it
So
sided.
is that a vinyl project?
Yeah, yeah. And then Jeff tore his rotator cuff, so that kind of put us behind as well. So, and then behind you is another large closet.
Yes, with a little
When we put a cabinet back
little
in there.
chest in there. Yeah.
Yep.
You did a wonderful job here.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
It is beautiful.
Yeah, it shows very, very well.
The bathroom before picture?
Yes. I'll find it here.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Got it.
Yes, yes.
Composting toilets up in there.
Yeah, yeah. Now looking down the hallway in that
Well, there's the
direction.
yellow walls here. I guess.
Yes, it was very much painted yellow all over. So that was looking that direction down the hallway. So we have been about 22 months, 18 to 22 months, redoing this. Lots of paint, lots of
A lot of
hard work.
So
Yes, yeah.
Would it be inappropriate to ask around figures how much of an investment you have in the remodeling of the house?
That would be a Jeff question.
Yeah.
He's the holder of the pocketbook. So
All right, Carol, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We appreciate the tour. And if you are a member of Friends of Wheeling, you will get notice of our next activity. Our next activity will be a walking tour of churches in the downtown, plus Good Mansion Wines, and we will be touring the stained glass. We'll be looking at the stained glass
she's finishing up.
in those facilities. That is Saturday afternoon, April the 12th, and we'll start at 1 o'clock at the public library. So thanks for joining us today.
He wasn't listening.
And please like us on Facebook. If you're not a member of Friends of Wheeling, there's information
Oh,
there
it's at Hall Light.
as to how you can join. Thanks. Have a good day.
The hall light.